Hey, what's going on, guys? Rhino here, and I'm bringing you a video that I've been thinking about making for a little while. I was watching, I think it's called The Big Question or The Big Questions. It's a show based in the UK where they have some famous people and then an audience come on and they just discuss something. They discuss a big question. They propose a question and then they have people from different sides discuss it, and it's actually pretty interesting. Sometimes pretty funny, and it's just something that I have gotten into watching. Not the show itself, just watching clips from it when they discuss certain things. But I I saw this title to this video, and it was like, should humanists be allowed to either marry? No, I think it was it was should humanists be allowed to marry? For those of you that don't know what humanism is, I'll define it for you real quick. Humanism, it's a noun, an outlook or system of thought attaching prime importance to human rather than divine or supernatural matters. Humanist beliefs stress the potential value and goodness of human beings, emphasize common human needs, and seek solely rational ways of solving human problems. Essentially, the best way to sum it up is taking God out of the equation and placing humans first. A lot of people worship God. Humanists put humans first. Humans are the superior being, is the best way to put it. That's what humanism is. And so humanism would be without religion. So the debate was about, should people without religion be allowed to marry and be allowed to host weddings, have a non-religious wedding, which would they define as a humanist wedding. I would just define as like a non-religious wedding. They're basically one and the same. And the people discussed it, and some people made some good points, some people didn't. But the thing that really got me, the thing that really bothered me is this. The people that were against the humanist weddings, one was this black guy who was just a complete idiot, and that's not a racist thing. If you listen to him, he's just an idiot. Like, it was sad to listen to him. There were some other Christians who were a lot more level-headed, and they, I respect them. I did not respect that guy. But from the things they discussed, they basically stated that if an atheist or a humanist wants to get married, they shouldn't be allowed to because they don't have a God. Essentially stating that Christianity houses marriage, which isn't the case. A lot of marriages in the U.S. are Christian marriages. I've been to Christian marriages. I've been to a Jewish marriage. I've been to a Christian-Jewish marriage, which was like a combination of both. It was actually kind of interesting. And they state that you need to have this religion, but marriage was not discovered by a religion, was not created by any specific religion. I'm pretty sure it was actually founded by humanists, or I think it was technically founded by secularists, but people who are without religion, essentially. It was not founded on a religious standpoint. And that's fine. I don't really care that much. I'm pretty sure that here in the U.S., humanist weddings are allowed, which is good. It's not really a problem that I'm worried about. The problem that I'm worried about is this: when they state that the weddings need religion, that they need God, they're more worried about a humanist without religion, getting married than someone of a different religion. So basically they're stating, in order for you to get married, you have to have a God, but it doesn't have to be the right God in their mind, even though there is no proof for that God, which is a totally different issue. That kind of bothers me a little bit, because they're basically stating that someone who doesn't worship or follow any God is worse than someone who follows the wrong God. Someone who is Jewish is better than an atheist because they at least follow a god of some sort, which is, I'm not stating that atheists are better than anybody else. That's a purely opinionated question that can't be factually proved in any way, shape, or form. In my opinion, all humans are equal, except for on intelligence and, a couple other things. But, like, when it comes to who's better than someone else, in general, no one is better than anyone else. Everyone is equal and the same, whether they're Christian, Jewish, or whatnot. I don't get this standpoint, though, that you need a god and that you need to worship any god to be able to be married. But you just can't have no god whatsoever, which makes no sense to me. And the thing that really doesn't make sense to me is the fact that I believe in one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not worship another god before me, or something like that, or something I don't know the exact wording, but it's something along those lines about worshiping another god before Yahweh, which, is kind of understandable if that was it's kind of a jealous commandment, but whatever. But atheism doesn't break that commandment. Atheism is the lack of belief in Yahweh, which isn't putting another god before Yahweh. It's just not having belief in Yahweh. Meaning, how is that, like, there is no commandment breaking there. Not that atheists care about the commandments anyway, but, But you're stating that someone who doesn't break your commandment, who just doesn't believe in any gods whatsoever, has a lack of belief in your God, is worse than someone who breaks the commandment specifically stated in the Bible that states that you shall not put another god before Yahweh. So you're respecting the person who breaks the commandment more than the person who doesn't break the commandment. Now, I'm pretty sure some people would go as far to say as, well, atheism still breaks the commandment. That's, still something to argue about. But then it circles back to Christianity didn't discover, develop, invent, create, or anything, has nothing to do with marriage. You just took weddings and marriages and you inserted religion inside of it. And then you're like, oh, this is ours. We now own weddings and marriages and all this shit because we put God in it. When that's not the case. Even more so here in the U.S., the U.S. is not even a Christian nation. I mean, people claim that it is, but it states in the Constitution itself that is not a Christian nation, and we're founded on religious freedom. In fact, the founding fathers, some were Christian, some were not. It was not a strictly Christian nation that we were founded on, and they specifically went for a non-Christian nation. And so, no matter what way you look at it, there is no reason for Christians to be able to control. For one, Christians to be able to control who's allowed to get married and who's not. For two, why Christians should have control of marriages whatsoever. For three, why should a person who doesn't have a belief in Christianity be subject to not getting married, especially if it's just a lack of belief and not believing in something else, which is, that's more of a laugh in your face. Is someone who is Jewish, believes in a God, but they're atheist to your God, your Judeo-Christian God. Your Yahweh, they are an atheist towards, but they believe in something else. So not only do they have a different supernatural belief that isn't yours, but they are still an atheist to yourself. An atheist, like myself, in general, I'm an atheist to all gods. Well, in respect to all gods. I just state, I don't believe in your God. I have a lack of belief in your God. And that's it. And yet, my type of people, the humanist type of people, would get persecuted more. Now, this isn't like some huge thing, like huge deal where the persecution is huge. This is just something I wanted to discuss because when I was watching this video, it was like a 20, 30-minute video. It kept nagging at my head. Like, why are they thinking like this? Why is their thought process following this pattern? Not to mention many other problems involved with it, but this was just the part that was really getting to me. But that's about it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about humanist marriages, whether you would allow them or not, and have a nice day.